started 7:01, meeting called to order. Planning board. Ken is out.
In Hawaii?
tonight. Eric, good evening. And missing, can't hear him.
Listen, Bill.
Missing,
Bill.
Might be on our end.
Bill's recusing himself for the first one, so he may not show up at that time. Which is fine.
Why? Paul Flaherty's very upset about this one. Paul Flaherty's very upset about,
Sounds
Better money for this.
he pulled me aside and yelled at me.
must have been an issue on Eric.
That's Paul.
Favorable clarity?
Hmm?
All favorable action for high.
I'll tell
Hello,
you the
Bill.
first thing, Paul.
Meeting has been called to order.
I'll tell you the first thing.
Previous meeting minutes have been distributed. Any corrections, comments?
Oops.
They say as a motion to approve as distributed.
So, oh, I can't vote.
So moved.
Seconded. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Treasury report, any updates?
Nope.
Planners report.
Planners report was distributed. I think as I mentioned in my email that I forgot to include on the actual report was that 28 Harvard Ave North is having a ceremonial groundbreaking by Habitat for Humanity on June 22nd, which is a Monday at 10 a.m. I sent out notices to the abutters so that they are aware that that is happening. There's no actual construction that will happen on that day. It's just a ceremony. I submitted for funding through the One Stop for Growth grant portal that the state has for, I think it ended up being $172,000 for a new master plan or an update to your comprehensive plan. So I think you have a pretty good shot at that for your housing choice community designation, and that lasts for another.
We had a committee the last time to work on that. Well, we can do the same type of process where we have interested residents that want to help.
So yeah, I agree.
The thing we're missing is the money. So if we have money and people that want to.
Those are two important. We should know by November. I think last time they made announcements in October for funding under that program. So like I was saying, your housing choice community, so that helps a lot with these grant funding applications. There's, I think, a total of 3 grants that it was eligible for. So fortunately, the One Stop, I just have to submit the one application and they'll evaluate it for all 3, which is great. And everything else pretty much stayed the same on the report, just, slow progress on the other things.
What do we got? Anything from the board before we get started?
I noticed that reorg is not on the agenda.
It is
It is? Oh,
on the,
oh, it's not as an extra thing. It's up above. Okay.
yeah, I would have put it first, but I just do that to Bill, who would be in charge of the first one. Okay, it is 7:05. We're going to suspend the regularly scheduled meeting and open up a public hearing for a site plan for a DPW building renovation.
Yeah.
Come right up and, floor is yours.
We're sharing our screen here, so we have a short presentation. Thanks for meeting with us. We know an agenda, so we'll try to be quick, but we have a bit of presentation. My name is JP Parnas, project manager and architect for Custom Saves, and I have Jesse O'Donnell, our civil engineer as well. Team members online as well. Answer questions. So this is a site plan approval request for the DPW
Can you maximize that?
which includes
Maximize the.
Sorry, yeah.
Cheers, please.
Oh, you have everything.
All right.
First, the first question is with the, were you considering people my age with this font size?
Our age.
Not the standards side we usually put there.
I can scroll up on the computer, so it's fine.
As you may hopefully be familiar with the existing VW site next to high school. They currently have an existing metal garage building which houses both their vehicles, their maintenance, what you might call as a staff support space, small kitchenette and a couple of lockers. They have a fabric structure back there that they use for storage, and then they have the salt shed and their fuel island. In addition, they have their existing office trailer, which has been temporary there for years.
10 years, yeah.
I'm sure you've heard about it.
Did the other one, the old one got replaced 10 years ago then?
Oh, no, I don't know.
Oh, I should know, you have recused.
Yes, I have.
Oh,
Bill is recused from the,
I'm a DPW employee.
Okay.
I work in the trailer.
Oh, right. Sorry, I didn't recognize it.
so, yeah, please continue.
It's an existing, almost 11-acre property. I've mentioned the existing buildings on there. There are 2 existing driveways, which we're intending to improve. Although the second one in the center is really rarely used. I think it's really only used for emergencies currently. We are in process with conservation, as I'm sure you're aware, with an NOI. There are wetlands and some vernal pools on site. We're not disturbing those, but we are within their jurisdiction. We're also in the process of reviewing peer review comments on that. Generally, the site is used by the DPW for everything from vehicle circulation, they have stockpiles in back of the site, they use it for contractors, store other materials there. It's all true. This is just a larger view. They have the office trailer on the side with existing parking. See the existing paved area and the area in yellow on the back is kind of a hard pack gravel space, frankly. So on the proposed, we are proposing to keep the existing building and reuse it basically just as a vehicle storage garage, clear it out, just clean it up. We are doing some new mechanical HVAC work in there. But then adding about 11,000 square foot addition onto the back of that building, which will include maintenance bays for the vehicles, a wash bay for the vehicles, and then staff support and offices for the management as well. So lockers, showers, new offices, meeting space, and a proper break room and training room. In addition, the structure to the north is currently a bit alternate, but it is just an open canopy that we're proposing to store as a 3-season storage, basically to keep some stuff undercover, trailers and other equipment that doesn't require to be indoors. Currently, the salt shed remains existing. We're not touching that except for maybe switching the ramp area for that. There is an existing 1,000-gallon diesel tank, diesel fuel tank on site. They currently use extensively, and it's in the way. So we're relocating it to somewhere at the back of the site. Currently, we're showing it at the back of the salt shed there, but it might get relocated. In addition, storage bins for outdoor storage and then parking. Oh, and then just a quick view of what the addition will look like, despite the purple roofs. That was just to match the plan. But it's basically 2 large structures there. The maintenance bays and wash bay you can see on the left, and the administration and staff support on the right front there, and then you can see the existing garage to remain. And turn it over to Jesse unless there's questions on that. portion of it.
Great, thanks, Dave. So I will take a few minutes to discuss some more context about the zoning and regulatory compliance here, and then I'll dive into some of the more in-depth design details for a few minutes before we turn it back over to the board. So a quick primer on the zoning summary for the site. We're here tonight for site plan approval because that expansion of the building does exceed 2,000 square feet. So we need the site plan approval from the planning board. The site's located in the municipal government facilities zoning district. It's not located in any overlay zoning districts, but per the zoning bylaws table of uses, the site is classified as a public works facility, which is permitted as of right in the MGF zoning district. So I'd like to discuss the setbacks and easements on this slide. We have the black line is the property line, and then within it, the red line is the setback line. So we have the front side and rear setbacks, and you can see the existing buildings shown in that kind of more deeper red color are all outside the setback areas and compliant. Now on the top of the slide, we have a pink zone. This is the 100-foot wide easement that exists on the property for the benefit of the regional high school, which directly abuts to the north. And the language of that easement says that this pink zone shall be left in substantially natural condition. The entire pink zone is wooded, so it complies with that requirement, except for, you can see in the top left, there's the existing driveway that goes through it. So that's the portion of the easement that obviously isn't in a natural condition, so it's probably an existing nonconformance. We're not planning to exacerbate or worsen or amplify that existing nonconformance. We're just simply repaving the driveway and improving.
If I can stop you there, this is a brand new plan, has to comply with zoning, current zoning. Is your access shared? It says driveway, is that only you can use that driveway, or is that driveway?
Only the DPW. It only accesses the DPW.
So from where it leaves your property, all the way to Maple Street is all, you're the only one that uses that entire access?
Mhm.
Yes, correct.
Nobody
You know,
else
public that are visiting the DPWs as well, but yes.
Why, you have a driveway on your own property, why is that not used? And that the other one used as an emergency access?
Because the current one that's used goes directly to that intersection, which is controlled by a traffic light and much safer for vehicles.
It doesn't go through school property at all?
I think he was talking about the first,
The current driveway we have listed on the plan shown as a driveway, does that go off of your property at all?
Yeah, if you can see my
Does.
pointer on the screen, I'm
Across the
circling the
Hold on, I have
area.
another question, is that on the school's deed
Yes.
that you have the right of easement for that?
That's a great question. We can follow up.
We don't know. Yeah.
Because if it's not on their deed, you don't have the rights if it was ever sold. You know, school population design, we move all into the Blackstone, we can, that gets sold. The new owner wouldn't be able to give the DPW the right because it's not on their deed. So that has to be on the school's deed that we have the right to, forever to go through it. This is just a.
Yeah. Thank you. We'll take note of that and follow
And,
up on.
and also parking triggers, they get more than 10 parking spaces.
Yeah, I have a slide to cover parking in a moment.
Well, that you said it was triggered by the 2,000 square feet increase. It's also triggered by just the parking. If you were just adding parking, you'd have to go through the same process.
Oh, I see.
I see. That's okay.
Yeah,
That,
got it.
I think I recall that now that you pointed that out. Yeah. Okay, so that's a good question. We'll follow up on that front. In terms of the other easement on the property, there is one more. It's the blue line shown on the plan. This is a U.S. Army Corps of Engineers flowage easement, primarily for flood storage. The language there says that mowing and clearing is generally allowed in that blue area, but any earthwork would require the Army Corps' consent.
Is that a height difference below a certain contour?
Yes.
269.
69
Yeah.
contour. I just wanted to point that out, but our limit of work is well outside of that.
It just means you have to flood proof your utilities anytime. That doesn't mean that, they just have to be flood proof.
Okay. That's good.
And if you build anything, you have to build compensatory storage. There's a lot more than just utilities.
I'll move on and I'd like to take a slide to show the setbacks against the proposed site plan as well. So you see the red setback line here as it relates or as they are located to the proposed buildings on the site. All of the buildings are compliant with respect to the setbacks. The closest building is that teal building shown in the bottom right of the slide. That's where the existing fabrics storage structure on the site is proposed to be relocated. So it will still be several feet away from that side setback, but just a bit closer than the existing condition. Just wanted to point that out. All right, next slide. So I would like to quickly cover parking here. We are zoomed in on this slide. This is a slide of the proposed site layout. And we're showing the new proposed parking layout, but I have superimposed exactly where the existing parking spaces are compared next to it, just in blue for reference. So the existing parking layout has 9 parking spaces. The proposed layout has 16 parking spaces, 2 of which are ADA compliant parking spaces in conformance with that regulation. Now, the zoning bylaw breaks down parking requirements per underlying zoning district, and there is no prescribed requirement for the municipal government facilities district in the bylaw. It's not mentioned in that section. So what we did is we coordinated with DPW staff, with the director, to forecast what the parking need would be on the site to accommodate customers, public, staff, and we ended up with 16 parking spaces proposed as shown in the location on this plan.
So the existing parking spaces are going away. And they're being
Yes,
replaced.
so, yeah, that's a
So
good
So you're
point.
basically adding 8 new parking spaces.
Yes,
And your handicapped spots will meet both AAB and ADA requirements.
yes, yeah, per the design, yeah.
All of your buildings, we're not gonna have, the town will have any issues with them with access to all of the buildings, and anything new that your building will have proper access, will have ramps, everything that they need to get into any of the buildings that we're building.
Yeah,
And the bathrooms.
Yes.
Yeah.
yeah, it's an important piece too. All right, so a quick summary on the utility work here. I'll just go through starting with sewer. A new sewer pipe is proposed to connect out to the existing sewer main that exists beneath the Maple Avenue Pleasant Street intersection. The existing infrastructure on the site is on septic, so that septic will be decommissioned as part of the project. So again, all existing piping from a sewer perspective and the proposed piping for the new addition will all be run through that new trunk line down the long driveway that we were discussing before and connect out to the existing sewer network below that intersection.
You do know that typically in any application, if we have a sewer question, we ask the DPW what their answer is. So we're gonna have to ask you.
Yes. Yeah, so if there's any further questions on the sewer, we can get into a detailed discussion about that.
Anything wrong, what do you think fixes it?
Yeah. Yeah, right, exactly. So that summarizes sewer. In terms of water, the existing fire hydrant on the front lawn is there to remain as part of the project. There's an existing 6-inch water main on the site that is also proposed to remain, but we are proposing 2 new services to branch off of that existing 6-inch pipe to connect to the building. Those 2 new services will be a 6-inch fire service and a 4-inch domestic water service.
And then all of that has to go with the increased building size. You just need more maintenance and more things to service it.
Right,
Right.
yeah, our plumbing team is on the design for
The
that.
new addition will be fully sprinkled.
Right. From an electric perspective, there's a new transformer and a new generator proposed on the site. Underground fiber and power are proposed to the buildings, the new building's electric room. There's also an underground power line that we're proposing to that storage, out of that 3-season storage canopy in the rear portion of the site that JP mentioned earlier. For lighting, the lighting design is limited to wall pack lights to provide security and access on the building, on the exterior building walls. There's no pole mounted site lights proposed, and that was per some coordination meetings we've had with the DPW. So that covers lighting. And then finally, from a heat perspective, we are currently exploring the feasibility to extend natural gas service to the site. And as we get more information on that front, we can provide the board with more information.
My suggestion on the lighting is to run it by our building inspector. He has a standard lights that go more downward than outward, and he built the type of design that we'd want to use there. It's like it is now. It's
Okay.
really well shown now.
Thanks for that tip. So we'll coordinate to have a meeting with the building inspector just to make sure we get the right lights out there. Spend a minute or two here on the stormwater design. On the slide here, we have provide color to the proposed stormwater system, but just a quick side note for the existing stormwater system, it's limited essentially to 3 dry wells. Sometimes they're called leaching catch basins in the front of the site. These 3 existing dry wells accept flow from a small amount of the paved area in front of the site, and otherwise there is no notable stormwater treatment on the existing site. So it's a pretty minimalist stormwater approach that is not in compliance with the modern stormwater standards. So our job is to bring about compliance with the proposed stormwater design. But the stormwater system is comprised of deep sump hooded catch basin. These are catch basins with those deep sumps that go down and the hoods that are connected to them to provide pre-treatment. And those catch basins, there's several of them proposed, will convey stormwater from the building roofs and the parking areas, and convey that stormwater through a series of manholes and pipes to an underground stormwater infiltration chamber system. That's the rectangle you see on the bottom of this slide. The purple row of chambers in that underground chamber system is called the isolator row. This is a feature of in which that row of chambers is surrounded by a geotextile filter fabric. So all of the water from the first flush in a given storm is directed directly to that row and has to go through that filter fabric before it gets access to the infiltrative stone bed beneath. And that provides the final round of pre-treatment in accordance with the standards. So the overall chamber system is sized to accommodate the 1-inch water quality volume in accordance with the standards as well. We did some test pits on the site in April. The test pit performed in proximity to this chamber system revealed a loamy sands material, and there was no groundwater observed from that test pit, which suggests compatible with the design we've put out here. In terms of overflows from this chamber system during large storm events, that's shown in green. That's the overflow network from the chamber system. It is controlled by a manhole structure that we're calling an outlet control structure, which has a number of orifices that are cored in the structure to control the rates at which water leaves during certain amounts of storm events or extreme storm events. And it will convey those outflows to the drainage main beneath Pleasant Street.
Which is 50-year storm.
Yeah, 22, 10, 25, and 100 are what's required per the state regulations.
I noticed the peer review though said that you do have a significant increase in runoff volume during the 100-year event, and that you're capturing 30%, not 65%. If you address those? Or...
Yes, we're in the process of providing a response letter to the peer reviewer this week. It'll bleed into next week, and when we get that sorted out, we'll obviously copy the board with those responses. But those are good comments that they caught, and we're just modifying our stormwater design to bring about compliance with those.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's a lot easier for our peer review to do you have to design it and do all these things. He just looks for mistakes, so it's a little easier.
Right.
Okay. One of them was, I think it was the reinforced concrete pipes 2.5 feet underground. He said
Yes.
they should be reinforced concrete, but you have a different.
Yeah, we proposed high density polyethylene pipes, the corrugated pipes, which is very common in the industry, but reinforced concrete pipes do tend to allow less cover over the pipes because they're more reinforced.
It's not the cover, it's the weight of the vehicles you're gonna be driving on. Those are
Yes.
gonna be vehicles.
The high density polyethylene pipes are, the manufacturers rate them to be driven over by these vehicles as small as with 1 foot of cover.
That'll be in response to,
The peer reviewer, because there's a little bit more nuance, and we just want to make sure that we're designing a pipe system that the owner and the reviewer are okay with.
well, we can differentiate when the peer review says, you must or should.
Right, and I can't remember which they said in the letter.
It should.
Should, okay. We will coordinate with them on that though, and we'll probably provide a pretty nuanced and long response to that, just to provide the needed context. I think that the board deserves for that item. The pipes are an important piece to the stormwater system. The pipes are sized for the 25-year storm as well. All right, and the final slide I have tonight, just as JP mentioned before, we have a conservation permitting ongoing effort, NOI with the commission. I've shown the 2 vernal pools in proximity to the site on this slide. Again, the work is located within the jurisdiction because we're in the buffer zones to these 2 vernal pools, but we're not directly impacting the pools themselves nor the wetlands associated with that, just the buffer zones. So we filed a notice of intent in late April. Our first hearing was on May 13th. It was continued. The board wants to close the meeting only once those stormwater peer review comments have been closed. So we have a meeting with them in 2 weeks.
Is it correct that you do not have to file with the Board of Health because you're going into town services? So before you had to, with the septic system, you had to get a
Correct.
planning board, we need approval from the Board of Health for you to do your design. But this is different. You will not need their approval, correct? Because our approval is going to be based on, subject to conservation approval and those things.
Yeah, as a question for the board, because that generally concludes our presentation, and we'll take any other questions the board and the public have, but as a quick question for the board, do you typically have the Conservation Commission close first, or does the planning board like to close first, or is it project specific?
They're independent, whoever closes first, of the winner.
But we might, if we close, then we will say contingent upon approval.
I see.
I guess the one thing about the Board of Health that we'll need to check is since we are decommissioning the existing septic system on site, I'm
Mhm.
not sure if they need.
Approve that.
Right, so then
Actually, to that point, the peer reviewer did recommend that we, at least I think, discuss with the Board of Health about
Yeah.
the septic
Mhm.
system, so we will be
They
communicating.
ask for their recommendation as well for anything that they have.
Yeah. Right.
So, and on the driveway issue, I mean, obviously it'd be good to see that there is an easement. Hopefully the school system gave an easement, and I would assume that the chief of police would prefer use of the driveway that goes into the light, not adding an intersection just shy of the light that has high school students driving through it. Every
I
time.
want to make sure that in the future it stays
Yeah.
under our control, we are able to use it.
Sure, yeah, that makes sense.
Any other questions from the board? Questions from the audience? Go ahead.
Just one comment about that easement. You mentioned you were gonna potentially bring in a gas line. That's gonna be that area where the easement may or may not be. That's something that needs to be.
Yeah, and the water, the sewer line's gonna go through that too, so. Does the water main go under there already?
No, it's further, it's closer to the other driveway.
All right, how long do you think it'll take you to get a response from our peer review? I mean, we can move this to 2 weeks, or when's our next meeting?
23rd.
2 weeks from now.
23rd, 2 weeks. You want to make 23rd, you want to make it, put it into July?
Yeah, I think we would like to be continued to the 23rd. If we need to be continued past that, we would let you know as soon as possible, but we are ready for the 23rd.
Okay, this hearing is continued to 7:05 on June 23rd.
Do we have anything else on June 23rd yet?
Check in.
We
We
do
have
too.
reading the master plan.
While she's looking, Mr. Chairman, I did speak with Jesse earlier today, and I said if there are specifics regarding, engineering specifics, that it would likely be okay for him to contact DGT to work those things out, but obviously any changes or comments need to be addressed to the board with regard to those things, but
Yeah, obviously, this is the town applying to the town. The difference is we're elected to represent the neighborhood that you're building it in, so it's a little bit different. You guys, your backhoe makes the same noise as a developer's backhoe, so we have to consider that stuff in it. But Mike is perfectly qualified to take any questions that we have, and he'll present it to us,
Thank you.
and Lauren as well.
7:05 is good.
7:05 is good? All right, we'll see you at 7:05 on the 23rd.
Okay, thank you very much.
Appreciate your time.
Appreciate it.
Have a good night.
Okay, it's 7:29, going to reopen and then suspend the scheduled public hearing and open up the public hearing for public meeting and open up a public hearing for each three of the meetings.
Mr. Chairman, I don't see anybody here for East Street Estates. Unless they're on, and I don't recognize them.
Continue to tonight?
No, I was reading through the minutes actually during the last item because I noticed that I didn't see anybody from East Street Estates. He said it was continued to this date. But I know, as we know, Gary and Howland is representing a few items before you that I think have also been continued to the 23rd.
So we will continue East Street Estates to 7:10 on the 23rd.
Yes, and just so you know, 130 South Street is on for 7:15 the 23rd and 3 Centennial Court at 7:20, but 7:10 is available, so that works.
Now, yeah, I know I emailed Jim Sullivan today about 130 South Street and the fact that we don't have plans on that yet that need to be reviewed. And I mentioned that he was on for tonight, but maybe I accidentally confused him.
That meeting is continued till 7:10, 23rd.
You have a construction grant deadline on that. That is to the end of this month. So you're good.
Okay.
This is East Street Estates?
Yeah.
Okay.
Reopen the regularly scheduled meeting and then.
Sorry.
Well, like I said, I had correspondence with him about another project that he's representing before the board, and I think there just might have been some confusion on that, because I apologize, he was on for tonight.
But we have requested that they tell us if they're not doing it,
Yeah.
because they know the neighbors show up.
Thought you came in just like us.
Well, I do, too, but you know.
Can you remind them that if they're not gonna,
Mhm.
that they need to give us advance notice,
Well, and also if they're not here on the 23rd, then we need an extension.
extension on the shot clock, yeah.
Before we vote on it.
That's it.
Okay, suspend the regularly scheduled meeting and open up a public hearing for 6 to 8 Grove Street, site plan review for mixed use building. My first question is, this was originally submitted in November. I believe the plan on file with the town clerk is from November, is that correct?
I'll double check.
Yeah, that's when we first got this project. And then it was continued so they could go to zoning board and then.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
It's been a while.
That's
But
why.
the plan on file for 6 to 8 Grove Street was submitted on the planning board in November, is that correct?
Yeah. Mhm.
All right, so is this is not the November 6th to 8 Grove Street plan, is it?
No.
Mr. Engineer, is this the 6 to 8 Grove Street plan that's on file with the town clerk from November?
October 30th, 2020.
This is with the brewery on it and all that?
Yes, one parcel. One parcel.
I thought there was a June 2nd submission to us that had changes.
There's been two other plans that's sent to you, 4/13 and June 1st. I'm about to go through.
You're confusing me because we had the review on last year's submission. Has this been reviewed by our engineer, this new submission? Has it been sent to our town boards?
This has
Yeah.
not, this iteration has not yet, and these are this iteration, I believe, is.
It's the response to the last, yeah. This, and that's what it says, comment responses.
This is a major change. This is a total major change to the project. The brewery's been removed, this changed to parking, this changed to access, this changed to environmental or drainage. There's been total change to this. So my suggestion here is we proceed that this is a new submission. You'll have to refile and we'll start the clock again because we're supposed to have a certain amount of time to figure this out, send it out. And if we're in the middle of a process, we got a brand new plan. We got to start from the beginning. Comments, thoughts? Hold on a second.
I guess I mean, we can also ask to extend the shot clock as if this was the first time we were seeing it, so that we'd have full time. For full
Anybody
review.
who's come to the town hall to see what's coming into this meeting, what's going to be presented at this meeting, wouldn't have a clue. It has to be available to the public for a certain amount of time before we have a public hearing on the subject, on the application. This application is not going to be anything what is on file. It's a different plan. We have options, but
I mean, Tom, when we open a new hearing, we accept new plans and then we send them out for review and
we didn't vote to accept June 2nd's permission. We haven't had a meeting since then. If this came in June 2nd, we haven't had a meeting since that material came in. Why do we have to accept? We have to vote on it. We have to vote to accept that. It wasn't even here before our last meeting. Need on this?
How do you all feel?
Is there any way I could see the changes?
Relative to what we had before?
Yeah, I can share my
Yeah,
screen.
I
Yeah.
still recall what we had before.
Yeah.
So I just want to see.
So
Yeah, I
you're
can share.
suggesting we have a meeting on the changes instead of the application.
So are the changes that that have been made in response to the previous peer review?
Yeah.
Is that what we're gonna see?
Yes.
Then,
Peer review has issued 2 letters and we've now responded twice.
so I mean, that's what we do. We get a plan in, we send it out for peer review, the peer reviewers look at it. The applicant responds, we get new plans that are the applicant's response. This
They don't
happens
change
over time.
anything without us saying, we agree with the engineer. We do that should must thing. We don't automatically, if the engineer says, peer review says that's what we do, we don't just take it for it. It comes to us, we make a decision. And then we tell him what needs to be changed because we talked about it. We don't just change it because the engineer says change it. They didn't change their pipes because the engineer said you need reinforced concrete. They said, no, but I'm arguing with you. They think we can't do that. So we make the decision.
What are some of the substantial changes from the October 31st?
The good news is they're all less impactful. It's all a reduction of work. It's not an increase in work. We're not exacerbating the initial plan by any means. What we've done is we've actually, if you recall, the initial submission was to do a parking lot revision to the brewery. That has just been simply taken off the table. It's one minor change.
Mr. Chair, the threshold for requiring a site plan review was it might have been parking as well. It's definitely the 2,000 square feet, much was like discussed with the last item. Nothing has changed with regard to that portion of the trigger, right? So the raising of the existing multifamily building and the replacing of the new structure. I'll refer to the engineer to comment on that if you'd like, but that portion of the site remains the same. I don't know if there's been slight changes between last iteration and this iteration, but at least that being the trigger for the site plan review has remained constant.
But I don't understand the changes. There's parking changes, there's access changes,
Of course.
there's runoff and drainage changes. There's a whole bunch of changes.
Yeah.
And they're all mixed in with the original filing. There should be a new clear cut. This is the new plan. This is what the new plan does.
Are these new plans not dated with their revisions?
They are 6/1.
Yep.
And it's in response to the peer review's second letter,
Anyway, we're discussing
A5.
in a public meeting, something that was not available public before you. And they have to look at it to have their questions. If they don't get a chance to look at it and study it and go down, they're not gonna have intelligent
So-
questions to ask.
So that's a reason not to close the hearing tonight, but that's not a reason not to hold the hearing tonight in my mind.
There's other options besides closing the hearing. There is we can hold the public hearing on this, but that application has to be on file at the town clerk's office, and we need it on time to review it, like we would a new filing.
We see changes to plans and review them in these meetings all the time.
East Street Estates has been going on for 15 years.
I'm actually really not,
You're saying a site plan that removes the brewery and removes the parking isn't something that's gonna change anything? I think this was listed as a 40-foot access instead of the 2 driveways was supposed to go in. I think this was that, and it didn't, there was some missing thing for the runoff. Now we got a brand new plan. I'd like to have the other ones addressed. And if we're not gonna address those, we're gonna go to a brand new plan and those have to be addressed
If I may,
from the beginning. No, not yet. So we have to address this the way it is. It's a new plan. It is, the drainage has changed, the access has changed, the parking has changed, the impact has changed. And we're gonna talk about this without talking about what was reviewed. I don't know, just.
We have the reviews,
Yeah,
right
this
here.
whole-
We can go through the peer reviews,
We're ready to go through every peer review comment from the last iteration.
and that's without the what, I mean, that's what we do. We go
It's-
through the peer reviews and see,
Being on file.
It's a half an acre site.
when did it,
Some
when did
project.
this arrive? To your
June
office?
1st.
It's arrived at the office on June 1st?
Might have been June
June
2nd.
2nd, so it's been in the office since June 2nd. So if someone in the,
So you
I'm,
want to have a
I'm,
public meeting, a public hearing on something we haven't even looked at as a board, haven't even discussed to see whether we need anything else. Haven't even, we didn't even meet before when the stuff was putting in. This is our first meeting since then. We're gonna have a public hearing on it? Brand new stuff?
It's simply a revision to the previous plan.
Major change. It's major change requires a new file.
The only thing that has changed is the brewery has asked to not be part of the project, so it's no net change. The building and the parking for the new mixed-use building is exactly the same as you saw in the initial filing in October.
Could you clarify what you mean by the brewery asked not to be part of the brewery is gonna stay, they just don't want to be part of the change?
Yes, so we've had multiple meetings with Michael and the Brewers and Dave, the owner, and they have a fantastic business going on over there. When they first saw the first iteration in October, they said that would be difficult to continue operating as they do it. You can probably see out the window. They have a nice food truck, nice open air, open seating arrangement that they've had for the last 5 years. So with any additional earthwork in front of their building, they would be forced to shut down for a period of time, and that would be impactful to a local business. So we understood that. And we came back with a revision in April, of which DGT then reviewed that resubmission, where we were just going to square up some parking in the front of the brewery and just pull it a little bit off the street. And then peer review DGT had a bunch of comments about access removal and it still needing to shut down the brewery. So all wise heads came together and said, you know what? Why don't we just put a construction fence up around the limit of work and just do the mixed use building, take down the two structures that are there. They were previously shown to do so and just permit that project as the building.
What's your access now? What do you have the driveways?
There's one massive open curb cut for the brewery and about a 14-foot driveway for the house.
What Gary, did you say about that large driveway?
I can go through every peer review comment.
Just the driveway, else the access is.
Yep.
Site plans, it's access, utilities and zoning, really what we're concerned about.
So number 19, parking access and site layout comments per DGT. They suggested that a site distance study be performed to ensure the driveways are safe and adequate. And the existing driveway for the brewery is going to remain unchanged. In discussions with them, they've had no accidents in the last 5 years. Site distance is plenty in both directions. And the existing residential driveway is actually going to be widened from 12 feet to 24 feet. So it's going to actually be an increase for the new mixed use building. So there's no change there.
That's according to the town, 14 feet is what we asked for mixed use.
No, 24. It's a standard parking aisle width. 18 feet for the stalls, 24 foot for the aisle, 18 feet for the stall.
So why does siloing off the existing property negate the need to put, dirt and, I mean, I'm just confused about what that accomplishes, just
Okay.
like letting them stay.
So in just, putting up the construction fencing and just keeping all the construction limited to the demolition of the existing two homes and outbuildings, they can operate their
And there's room for the vehicles and everything.
absolutely, yeah. If you go by there today, which I just did, if we put up that construction fencing, their parking would remain as is.
I mean, the construction vehicles are doing the work.
They'd be coming in and out of this area here. And the fencing would be in this location here. And that was one of the comments from DGT. Like we say, The revised plans accurately show conformance with the second review from DGT. And a lot of the responses that you'll see in bold basically say anything that was associated with the new parking lot that we were gonna do with Rushford is sort of moot at this point because they're just gonna leave it as is.
DGT reviewed their 7 or 6.1 or 6.2 filing.
No, they have not reviewed it yet.
Boom. I think they were under contract for 2 reviews, correct?
Yes, I believe so. So it, you know, and typically I defer to the board on as to whether or not you would want, I mean, I assume that you will want another review, but I leave it to you to tell me that you want another review.
Anybody opposed to having the new submission peer reviewed?
No,
It will be peer reviewed.
Some of the other highlights are the utility pole per peer review. They noticed a little spillover onto the adjacent property, removed the utility pole to have light shining just on the parking lot. Again, it's pretty condensed into one small area with 12 parking spots in a new building. The good thing is too, all the stormwater questions with the brewery sort of go away because we're not going to get close to the river, close to the riverfront area, close to the bank.
And how many parking spots do they have already in front of their building that we're not touching?
The brewery itself.
Yeah.
They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Did they have a shared parking?
yes, with the town.
With the town, and you're as well, you need extra parking, you can talk to the town and get the selectmen on, we do their parking here. If you're short on parking.
Being for the new,
Completely separate, yep, for the new mixed use.
and for the this residential building going there too, right?
Yeah, so it's mixed use. It's gonna be office space on the first floor and 5 units of residential space.
Yeah, it would make sense to have your, if you do need shared parking, it would be for the mixed use.
Mhm.
Or
Yeah.
the business part of the mixed use.
Yeah, and one of the comments from DGT was to provide signage that the brewery parking is not allowed with the mixed use building, which we showed.
We'll get them out of the operation, though, won't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would imagine.
When's the bridge getting fixed? What's that gonna affect it?
Pardon my laugh.
When are they doing the bridge, do you know?
I
15 years ago.
believe the responses for the
Is,
to the bids are due later this month.
it could be this year.
Yeah, it could be this year.
I wish we could say that about the one down by me.
Yeah.
Yeah, since
That will impact your,
from day one, we've overlaid that design on our plans.
But the roundabout isn't, or the whatever they call it, isn't gonna happen for a couple of years, right?
That's my understanding is it's been pushed back to 27, 28,
29.
29, okay.
Well, maybe we can get some plants in it then instead of a paved roundabout if we.
Yeah, no, I should go. And nothing in the back anywhere is changing as far as, we had spent considerable time before talking about planting.
Yeah, so that was part of one of the comments from conservation was a planting plan. Not necessarily from DGT, but from conservation. They asked that the replanting be sort of scheduled and highlighted with specific species. So we worked with the wetland scientists and came up with a detailed planting schedule, number of shrubs, trees, monitoring and installation.
well, that last, the next response from DGT is what we're probably gonna be using to make our decision. It's gonna be kind of final agreement. That's why I don't like having these things while we're still going back and forth with what we're doing here. Well, my suggestion to the board is we'll continue this peer review and we'll the peer review and your response to the peer review on what to do. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's what I would have expected, yeah.
And Mr. Chair, this is not super relevant to, well, it is relevant to the design, but I think I'll just offer it anyway, which is the brewery reached out to me specifically after seeing the original plans, and we're very concerned, as Mark was telling you about, the loss of their beer garden in front of there. And you've heard them, it's their lifeblood, is what they told me. So that's, the major reason for this change. I mean, in addition to the responses to DGT, but also that.
But I think the one that makes it a new plan arguably is that that was taken off. And so even if it was by the request.
Well, so then are you, like Tommy, arguing that this is a brand new plan? and
I
we
said
need-
arguably.
I'm just,
I was non-committal.
It's a new plan with no change.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
That's not,
No change is a change.
that's not really your call. That's the call of our engineer arguing with you after back and forth.
Yeah.
Is when we agreed that, so that hasn't happened. And he'll, so the, rather than just, we have the new submission, we understand.
Mhm.
That it's a fair use. But the engineering access and zoning
Yeah.
and utilities have to be reviewed.
Yep, yeah, we continue the public hearing and that's. we see the-
One had a naked baby on it, camera.
Thank you, baby.
Who was it?
You realize he wasn't on mute then, too.
Yeah.
Muted
The
himself.
youngest kid?
So is the 23rd, do you think something that DGT would have information back by or?
No.
Well,
We haven't sent it yet.
no. Yeah.
Let's make it the first meeting in next month.
What's our schedule for July?
We just have the,
Just the 14th
oh, we have the 14th? Okay.
and 169 South Street is on for
I mean,
7.
I would. In hopes that maybe you'll have a review in 2 weeks. I mean,
I'm not gonna do that.
I don't think, yeah.
Alright.
Because then they'll have to respond and
Yeah, but this has been in for a while.
Mhm. Yeah. I mean, good to have it all buttoned up, you know.
Yeah,
So if DGT makes it,
the off chance that they had nothing to do between, thought I'd off.
and by the third time, you think the number of items might be.
7:05?
We have 169 South Street at 7:05. So
7:10.
7:10.
All right, hearing continued to 7:14 at 7:10. We'll send it off for review and we'll have fun on the 14th.
Fantastic.
when do you want to start work?
Last year. Trying to beautify the downtown update.
That's been continued to July 14th.
Yes. Okay, all right, 0 Mechanic Street, and we reopen the regular scheduled meeting. Talking about a special permit for senior housing development and 0 Mechanic, this is a continuation of a public hearing.
This continuation of public hearing, you have not closed it yet.
Good evening. For the record, Travis Brown, attorney, Quinn Engineering, here on behalf of Bugsy LLC. Since the last meeting, I met with the Conservation Commission. They have closed the public hearing, voted to issue an order of conditions, so when Mary gets back on vacation, we'll wrap that up. We have received essentially a clean letter from Stantec based on their last review, which we were waiting for at the last meeting. So those were a couple of outstanding items that the board saw. We also received via email, just a response to the couple of minor traffic comments, which those all went away. They just said, confirm with the fire department about the truck template. We've reached out. Our department commented on the project. That was not one of the comments. So I believe that's addressed. So I know Mike has prepared a draft decision, shared that with me, kind of went back and forth with some wording, no issues, with anything in that decision. Happy to talk about that. And then probably the last thing would be the 3 waivers that we requested.
Right, because they're really, I know with the draft, conditions is just that, it's, you're not final until we vote on the waivers. After you vote on there's all that changes if one member has a bad day or two, and we don't like some of your waivers.
Well, I hope today's not a bad day.
Okay, so if we go through Stantec's, letters, well, let's go through your waivers first, because your other boards are the up to conservation, you know, it'll be subject to them. Board of Health, they have it all.
I sent them a preliminary septic design, said it looks fine, you know, we get submitted, so that's pretty close to submitting to the Board of Health.
Selectmen on the light design, I mean, on the light locations. There's no lights, right?
Still no lights, yeah, no street lights as part of this, based on previous conversation.
It was gonna be a street light that was moved though, correct?
It's also, gonna be a private, right? So it's not a road plan. Yeah, right.
Lights for the neighbors that are around your private residence, not for them, it's for everybody else around you. So, okay. And stormwater and runoff. Engineer's happy with your runoff.
Yes.
They'll need DPW approval as well, say just like. Board of Health and
Yeah, I
Conservation.
spoke to them, they basically told me they don't really get into the weeds on it.
Any questions from the board?
Yeah, I just have a clarification question. And I could be wrong, but I think at the last meeting, you had mentioned that the light pole, like right across from, right at the curve, would not have to be moved. And I checked it out and looked, I don't know how you relocate the curve, remove the curve without moving that back a little bit.
Yeah, we're not removing the curve in Mechanic Street, we're simply tying into that bend in the road. We're not physically moving Mechanic Street into the road, so where this entrance driveway would come out, the pole would still be in that same location and we would be uphill.
Okay, no, you had talked when we were talking about, the site lines and stuff, about smoothing out that curve that goes along Mechanic Street.
Smoothing it out, not physically moving it, but just removing vegetation on the inside, so you would be able to.
Okay, I thought you were, okay.
Yeah, not physically moving where you would travel,
So there'd be no earthwork there.
be pulling back of the grade, because if
Okay,
pavement comes up, so that would. be
Okay.
pulled back.
Okay. So the width of the road would stay the same. It's just you would, okay, I get it. Yeah. I think I was confused by that. I was just gonna.
Before we close this, I was not at the last meeting, so do we have enough voters? Because otherwise I can watch the video of the last meeting and we can close it at the next meeting.
You have Eric on. Eric, have you been at all the?
He's activated for special permission, not site plans.
This is a special permit. isn't it?
This is a special permit.
Yeah.
The senior, yeah.
So we'd have to
That's-
activate them now for for this. We can't activate them from the beginning, don't you? Can't, can you just bring him in at, Fitchip?
If he's been in every.
So, because he's been,
That's usually what we
Yeah.
do, because we don't know we need them until
yeah.
we know we need them.
Mhm. Yeah, it just occurred to me that, because we can wait till the next meeting and I can watch the video, but I didn't see last meeting's video.
I should have activated him before we started the process. He's not officially on, so
You
you,
need tonight.
yeah, I should have activated him ahead.
Is that in, I mean, maybe that's in your rules.
Well, I don't mind I'll take what Margaret said, it's,
I mean, if we can activate him and get this done, that's good too. I just don't want to vote and then have someone question.
gotta check that, because if we do this and.
It's gotta be done right, yeah.
If we're wrong that he can't do it, then the whole thing is.
No, I know, and I know that I don't even know if the video is up yet from the last meeting.
So the way that the zoning board does it is everyone's there, and then they name voting members when they're taking
It's
a
time to
vote.
vote, yep.
So now appointed people do it.
But that, unless you have something different in your rules, that's the thing.
I don't think we do though.
I don't think we have, if we haven't specified in the rules.
I don't see anything specified.
Just says the planning board, when it is sitting, so 9.5 of your bylaws. Planning board, when it is sitting as the special permit granting authority, shall consist of 5 members and 1 associate member. The planning board chairman may designate an associate member to sit on the board for the purposes of acting on the special permit application in the case of absence, inability to act, or conflict of interest of a regular member, or in the event of a vacancy on the planning.
And you said may sit on the board for the decision. Is that what, can you read it back?
I can see,
To act on it.
I could see how that would be interpreted as you would need to designate him from the beginning.
But it also, the way it says it, it is to act
To
on it.
sit.
Or to, yeah, but also you use the word act.
The planning board, when it is sitting as the special permit granting authority, shall consist of 5 members and 1 associate member. The planning board chairman may designate an associate member to sit on the board for purposes of acting on a special permit
I
application.
didn't act.
You haven't acted yet.
It's already in the middle. I just don't want to- if
Oh,
we-
yeah,
If we can
either.
do what you said, wait, it's.
I also suggest we clarify. For future, I kind of
For
like how the
future.
BBA does it.
Yeah, I mean, because if the associate member's here for all of the hearings, you don't know in advance that someone
Yeah, you
might
don't know
not,
in advance.
Yeah.
you know, someone
Yeah.
might miss a meeting.
Yeah. So I think we should, I'm sorry, but I think we need to clarify that so this doesn't happen again. And, it may be that we need to know at the beginning. So it's all your fault. Could you?
It's all my fault because,
Yes.
well, I know, because I didn't realize that the Framingham State Retirement Dinner was going to be.
Oh, no. I mean, you can't predict
Yeah,
at the very beginning.
exactly. That's the
But
thing, is you can't predict.
But I thought you meant tonight,
Yeah,
during the deliberations tonight.
well, that's why I just wanted to raise it before we got to this point.
Well, I just didn't
I mean-
think that you bring them in now and then throw them out in 2 weeks because.
When would you propose we have to bring in an alternate then?
Let's
The hearing.
let's give it a couple of minutes.
No, whatever hearing you're sitting on.
Okay.
Sometimes town council is super responsive, and sometimes at this time of night, someone email him,
Okay,
and maybe he responds to me within the next minute or so.
Okay.
That'd be great.
yeah, because I mean, it makes sense that if the alternate is there the whole time, they can sub in at the end if someone, I mean, what happened if one of us got hit by a train?
We'd know at the beginning of the meeting. And we'd say, Margaret's in the hospital.
No, she's
But
all
we
over
wouldn't,
the
you
air.
wouldn't know at the beginning of the. So what you're saying is you have to put you have to
No,
vote the person in as soon as you start hearing
No,
something.
he said at the beginning of the meeting. So at the beginning of the meeting tonight,
Same
We would-
thing as somebody's excuse, something, so you have to, when the public hearing starts,
Mhm.
Bill's excuse, I have to say, Bill's excuse from the meeting. I have to announce who's involved,
Okay.
who's here, who's not here, when the meeting starts, and that's,
Yep.
so it's just the meeting.
Just the meeting.
because I gotta let everybody know who's involved in the
Mhm.
thing, and let the person know he's involved.
And you also got to let them know they'll be voting, so they can,
So I just,
Yeah, I suppose at the time of the meeting that you were absent from, that would be the appropriate time to designate.
Yeah, so if someone doesn't show up, maybe that's when we have to designate.
because if someone comes
Because
in,
that puts the alternate on
Yes,
notice that he or she has now got to
Right.
deliberate.
well, maybe, because again, she could have watched the
Oh, yeah,
tape,
yeah.
right.
so it's not 100%.
Well, yeah, the other thing about that is it puts everybody on notice that there's an issue.
Yeah.
all right, so what's left for us, I think we could do tonight is, we want to vote on the waivers. We could do that. 3 of them, dead end streets, more than 750, that's up to the fire department, the other ones that's impacted. And they said what? They said no problem with 750, correct?
The fire department.
Fire department said.
Sorry, I'm trying to.
So 750.
Town council.
Fire
750
department
is a-
750 is okay?
Yeah.
They can get to anything there?
Mhm.
That's a dead end street, 4 to 1 side slope, it's a 2 to 1, any less than that would require a retaining wall. But, if it was less than 2 to 1, you'd have to put a retaining wall in, but 2 to 1 is sufficient to get the vehicles around. And the road width. 24 feet sufficient for the, for this road, for this project. Discuss it later. So is there a motion to approve the requested waivers
So moved.
and discussion on the waivers? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, you have your waivers. So we will write up, the final report and we'll vote on it at the meeting. There's there's no disagreement on, I think what we've done so far, right?
Yeah, have the board members had a chance to review the draft decision. I threw it out.
Right, it was in,
I glanced at it, I didn't.
It might not be in the packet, I apologize.
yeah,
Well, we don't read it something,
I thought it was in here. No, yeah, I don't think it is, yeah.
because that'll be close to what we're doing, right? That draft decision is close to
Yeah.
what we've agreed on tonight.
And we have until the end of this month on this?
So,
Okay, so I can watch it and sign the form at the next meeting, but
I mean, you can. If you're worried about running against the public hearing deadline, you could close the public hearing tonight. It doesn't sound like you're going to be entertaining any new information. And then from date of closing the public hearing, you then have a certain amount of days to actually issue a decision, so that covers you.
Yeah, no,
Great.
no information is expected to, reopen if anything happens, reopen a public hearing.
Do we anticipate, obviously you need to go back and watch the tape. to-
Yep.
Anticipate signing the decision at that same meeting?
No, we wait 20 days. You have a 20-day appeal period. We don't sign it until the
But
21st.
you would sign it and it would get signed into the town clerk and then the appeal would start.
Or
Yeah,
the
so we-
release, maybe we'll, but usually we have to wait the 20 days before
Yeah.
we do anything.
Yeah, that's, you endorse it, it gets reported with the clerk's office, that starts the
Right.
20 days.
yeah, so
They
we
don't get
will,
that Decision to be able to report with the deeds office.
until we
Right.
sign it,
There's
yeah.
no release of the laws at that point. It's all,
I'm just saying, if we can get that document over to the town clerk, at least it gets the
Yeah.
clock ticking on that 20.
we bring it down after we vote, bring it down
Mhm.
on the way up. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Just before you go, I have a curiosity question. You've tolerated me so well, thank you. The neighbor who had the issue with the proximity to his property, that's been resolved.
At 38, the property.
Yeah,
Yeah, we walked it with
Yeah.
him. I provided him plans. He acknowledged that's great. He appreciated
Okay.
what we did.
Okay.
Um,
well, we do too. So,
So that's all I'm taking care of.
Good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, 19 Glen Ave, is there a filing for that?
You have a filing, there's a plan.
I think you already told us about that.
So yeah, I was, Mr. Chairman, telling you before the meeting, and they're not here tonight, this is just the, filing the presentation materials, to accept as complete. So this is a filing for a site plan, for your bylaws, for a townhouse development of, is it 10?
no, I thought it was 16. Wasn't it?
This was 16.
So first of all, on townhouses only in A and B.
No, in your use table, it allows by special permit in the GB and CNI districts. So they have.
So this is for a special permit, yeah.
No, this is for site plan.
Oh, site plan, I mean,
Because,
yeah.
for that, the ZBA is the special permit granting authority per your bylaws for townhouse and garden apartments. So they have filed for a special permit with the zoning board, which will be heard.
Question.
Yeah.
It's a general business zone. Planning boards take the closest residential neighborhood and use that for density. But now it's residential. What's the density for residential in a general business? The closest zone to it. What is that?
SRC, which is 60,000 square feet.
No, that would be 40,
Or is
right?
40, excuse me.
15,
Oh,
25, 40.
SRD is, yeah.
So they would be allowed one unit for every 40,000 square feet of property.
If that's the interpretation of.
What else, why would we make houses and townhouses different than the neighborhood? You don't want to decrease the property values, you really can't put in, that's they have to match if it's gonna be residential, it matches the closest residential
Sure.
property. Which is C, means that each of these have to be in a 40,000 square foot set aside.
What,
Well, I think
are there townhouses allowed in C?
Is it what?
Special permit.
by special permit,
No, B,
A and
A
B.
and B
Okay.
is only allowed, but is
Mm-hmm.
not allowed in C or D. But in your use table, it says by special permit in G and B. This is, G and B and C and I.
Okay.
General business, commercial district. This is in a general business, in your use table says in by special permit in general business.
So if the ZBA approves a special permit for them to put townhouses in,
Do we make it, and now it's a residential zone, is it a 15,000 square foot zone, residence A or 25 for B, or does it
Well,
matter?
if
surrounding
if
territory?
it's A or B, then you can put in,
A
you
lot.
can put in, yeah.
So we've had this discussion before about this use, and what came to light is that your, I forget if it's 7.2 or 7.3, but in your bylaw for townhouses
And garden apartment.
and garden apartments, it's specific to A and B. It says these provisions apply for this use in zoning districts, SRA and SRB. It makes no mention of any other zoning district, except then obviously you have your use table, which it says allowed by special permit in general business and CNI.
So by omission, I thought in the bylaws, that meant if it's allowed, that it'll be allowed as,
Special, as a townhome, as townhome.
yes,
Mhm.
and it would follow whatever rules govern townhomes, townhouses. You're not following?
No.
Well, in our townhouse
blame
and
you.
garden apartments, it does mention that if it's in A, it's 15,000 square feet set aside, and if it's B, there's 25,000 square feet set aside per lot, per unit, per unit.
Yeah.
So they're proposing zone A dimensions. 15,000 square feet per lot, correct?
Per lot, they're not doing lots.
Well, you take
It's
not lot, but it is, you
Per
take the
u-
number
per
of
unit.
units times the required minimum.
For the minimum size of the total lot based on that.
Which
unit
is
counts, yeah. with that.
15,000
Yeah.
square foot minimum lot.
So where did you come up with the 40,000? That's the closest.
Because this is turning into a residential use,
Okay, so,
coming to us with a residential
Okay.
use.
so
And we're-
40,000 would be,
And we match the closest
okay,
residential zoning
okay.
for the townhouses and garden apartments. If it's A, we use A, if it's B, we use B.
And
This
this
is
one,
closest to C,
okay, okay, that's what I thought, okay.
and we're not even supposed to do that, C.
Okay.
Tough one.
So that would mean you'd have to, it's 7.2 acres, so the most you could do is 7.
Mhm.
Okay, see? I didn't have to take out my calculator for that.
I'd be happy to give that information to the zoning board.
Mhm.
That sounds important for them to.
To think about, yeah.
Yeah, and they have also considered this before and are of the opinion that, SRA and SRB, as I was saying before, your bylaw that is specific to this use applies to SRA and SRB explicitly in that bylaw, but leaves out the other zones. They have previously taken the position then that says that, well, then it's allowable by special permit and nothing else applies except for
The
the special
special
permit criteria under 9.3 or whatever it is, fitting within the context of the neighborhood, traffic, all that stuff.
Well, in the context of the neighborhood, though.
Yeah.
Is when you go look at
Sure.
the zone, the adjacent zone.
But anyway, so this is, it also in that bylaw, it requires site plan filing
Right.
to the planning board, which is why you have this in
Yes.
front of you now.
So so right now, we have it in front of us. Do we send it out? We should send it out for peer review.
Can I just ask, okay, just a question. If we're in zone C, do the frontage requirements for zone C also pertain?
Yeah, so that was something I was gonna touch on. Thank you. So you should send it out to peer review, agreed.
Yeah.
And so we reached out to Stan Tech about that already.
What they already put in the $2,500?
They haven't given us anything yet. I told them to hold off because I wanted to work through that issue that you just presented. which is they have, on that plan, they're showing the existing lot at 19 Glen for 120 feet of frontage. That is not conforming to what you just mentioned, SRC being the closest residential zone. That requires 180. So
Sounds like subdivision control to me.
so I don't, they would either need to also file for a variance with the zoning board in order to be eligible for this special permit. Or they will have to file a definitive subdivision with you for the creation of that frontage via a new road.
So why are we sending this out? I mean, it just seems there's so many,
Because they've submitted it and we have to.
and that's automatic.
We have to act, we have to, even if the act is no,
Yeah,
Well, I'm gonna hold off giving Stantec the okay
Yeah.
viewing anything.
Until-
I sort
until
this
you
out
saw-
with the
yeah.
applicant, since they are of the same understanding that we are.
right.
and if the applicant, and I think I asked this earlier, but I forgot what you said. It seems a lot of times people come to you and then come to the board for discussion. And did they come to you in advance of this or? Okay,
But if we say, we can reject this filing and say it represents a subdivision. We don't have to accept this filing if it represents a subdivision.
well, that's what yeah.
What,
that's-
what,
What are they asking for? A residential development plan.
And it's,
that's not necessarily a subdivision per Mass General.
If they don't have the frontage for their development,
Oh,
they go to one board,
Yeah.
it gives them the frontage.
yeah, and so, and then also, well, I think they're compelled to file a site plan with you per the bylaws, but also they are compelled to file a subdivision plan, which I realized in your bylaws, it says, let me just bring it up.
so, I mean, isn't it usually one?
So I
It
move,
says, I'm sorry.
go ahead, go ahead.
Each applicant who seeks a special permit from the zoning board of appeals to construct, for the construction of townhouses or garden apartments shall also file a definitive plan with the planning board in accordance with subdivision rules and regulations.
I remember doing that, was for Henderson's, ones down by the,
So I move that that Mike has a discussion with the applicant and explains some of the issues that have come up. And if the applicant insists on proceeding, then the applicant can pay for a peer review. After they give the money for peer review, then the applicant can pay for a peer review. But the applicant should probably understand that there are a number of issues that have come up with the
be
board.
legal as well as engineering.
Mhm.
I'll second that discussion.
Second,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he seconded, so I.
Other than that, I would hold off scheduling a public hearing. for
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
particular-
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
You have your marching order?
Can I just add, even though we voted on it, is it advisable that we send something to the ZBA? Or is that something that, or
That's up to you. I
is
mean,
that a totally different,
I can absolutely convey that SRC concern. I'll label it.
okay,
And the frontage concern.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely, all that.
Yeah.
Well, even
That's
if they-
tied in, but yes,
Well, they're gonna argue that it's gonna be A,
they might, yeah.
and if we say C, maybe we agree on B. But,
yeah,
you
but,
know, that, we have not that far.
but then it would be up to the ZBA to figure out if we're,
It sounds
You know-
like, for me, Mr. Chairman, it sounds like that would be something for the, if that specific question comes up and there is confusion around it, or at least no definitive agreed upon answer, that the zoning board should maybe make that determination in their decision. What
Mhm.
zone? they
What
should-
zone are they following? And it might also be that maybe town council should weigh in potentially on the, because
But
I mean,
the fact that when
this-
we did this, the fact that we made them, put in a subdivision plan for this,
Mhm.
which that requires a lot of engineering review for everything. It's
Yeah.
not just a site plan review, it's a.
I mean, my concern with them is that the grade going into that site may not comply with your road, but
Mhm.
yeah, I
And
don't want to get too far into it because it's not.
yeah, this is so premature.
and on a subdivision application, we don't miss grades, and we don't
Yeah.
miss road.
No. All right.
And that would change the review, obviously, too. It'd be
Yeah.
a much more substantial review from Stantec to do a subdivision review on a new road.
Mhm.
But if the ZBA considers it A or B, then it wouldn't be considered a subdivision.
No, but still would be
Okay.
a sub, per your rules, they have.
It's
to
still a
specify.
subdivision, yeah. It's just that it would, which zone, how, what's the size, the lot size?
Okay, that's-
That kicks in all of the conservation, the environmental stuff, it all the DP, it kicks in all of that stuff that we have to
Actually,
look
that's
at,
that'd be
grades,
an interesting
elevation,
wrinkle.
runoff.
That's actually an interesting wrinkle you just suggested. Does it then require that? It might change the subdivision filing in some way.
Mhm.
Yeah. Anyway. fine.
Anyway, okay,
Awesome, so.
have fun.
All right. Next is CMRPC safety concerns discussion.
So you were forwarded this, I believe, I mean, a while ago now. CMRPC is doing a study in collaboration with all of the central region towns to identify, I'll say problem areas in your road networks, right? To the mission, or Vision Zero indicates zero accidents and injuries. So just trying, setting a high standard of a goal to avoid accidents and injuries. But so by doing that, I've engaged the various different towns to help realize that goal by having us tell them what's wrong with your roads. So
We got more bullets than anybody else, so we won, right?
yeah, I was pretty mouthy during the discussion. But and that's a result of all the conversations that we've had here, just learning about all the different areas, especially West Upton. That seems to be, not only is it anecdotally the highest occurrence of problems, it is definitively the highest occurrence of problems when you look at DOT crash data, so.
Trucks regularly hit signs.
Yeah, so what I say, West Upton seems to be the main problem. High school students are also in the West Upton area congregating at businesses. Also just like safety, that's with regards to sidewalk safety and pedestrian safety, trying to even just navigate the West Upton intersection there. The country roads, I often see a number of single vehicle crashes, with speeding likely the contributor. Not only is that anecdotal from discussions with Mechanic Street, East Street, that is supported by the DOT data. When you go look at the crashes that happen on those sorts of roads, it's what they refer to as single. It's one car usually hitting a telephone pole or something. And when you look at the conditions of the accident, it's a rainy day, and speed is likely an issue.
Or texting.
Okay, let me stop you there because we're talking about enforcement, not a master plan addition. When you're talking about kids speeding or single vehicle crashes or those, there's nothing we can do as a planning board. We can't write that in to say, tell kids to slow down.
Yeah.
We can't tell them not to collect at Dunkin' Donuts at 2:00 in the afternoon or wherever they congregate.
Absolutely not.
So, I understand.
Well, I think that one too is because the kids tend to just go into the intersection. It isn't when they're hanging out, it's like when they decide to ride their bikes.
Yeah, it's
But-
more,
But they hit the nail on the head with the railroad. That's a lot of heavy trucks going in and out on that road.
yeah, and those trucks cannot make that turn.
It's a heavy, that's a tough spot.
They just can't. And you can see the scars on the sidewalk, from the trucks, but they just can't do it. They constantly going up on that sidewalk, constantly taking down signs on that side of the road. So yeah, it is a problem.
They don't have to come to us.
No, they don't.
We can't tell them it's wide, we can't tell them to make it safe.
And the Route 140, several difficult intersections is a serious reality as well.
Yeah, so very few T intersections. They said that, very few intersections that are at a 90-degree angle, right? So, it's like Plain Street.
Yeah.
And so all those types of roads. Prospect.
What makes us such character in the town.
Hey, we're a rural community. I just got taken out of the Stephens Farm crew today.
One of my kids got T-boned right out here by someone running the stop sign. That was the last time, I think, that before they closed the road. I think that's when they finally closed this road.
So, and so to wrap up, I don't know what the next action is from CMRPC on this, but there is a survey that's posted on the town website. So if you go out, take it and add to my comments, really.
And be supportive.
Ken, because the police are the best ones to answer if the safety improvements and,
Yeah, and I did reach out to them, the police and fire, I think before and after I had this conversation with CMRPC to just confirm their concerns, things like that.
what they have to say about it, yeah. Excellent. Thank you. Okay, appointed CMRPC delegate.
Not me.
Does that have to be a member of the board? He doesn't want to be. Yeah, not to. Eric, you still don't want to be CMRPC?
Someone's got to do it.
Just do this. I can't hear you, so put your thumb up if you want it. Okay, Eric is,
You do want it. That,
excellent.
excellent. All right.
Is there a motion to appoint Eric Hampton?
So moved.
Seconded, discussion?
Quick.
No discussion, all in favor, unanimous, thank you. Master plan update, review, Lauren?
No new information. The Affordable Housing Trust is meeting June 23rd at 5 o'clock, and then the plan is for the planning board to join at 6 and discuss with them until 7, and then at 7 you'll have the regularly scheduled planning board meeting. I'm not sure which room yet. And I also haven't sent the draft chapter yet. I didn't want to do it too far in advance, so you forget about it.
Us?
I'll do that soon.
Forget. Never.
Lauren's pulling double duty right now. Mary, our conservation agent, has been out at the office for the last week or so.
People sing your praises, Lauren. I skipped over 162 Milford Street, did I do that?
Yeah, please, we have, Bob's been waiting patiently.
Well, sorry about that.
Okay, how you doing, folks? So I was here last year, came up with the idea I had of putting storage units up at 162 Milford Street at the U-Haul place. And I got some favorable feedback from you folks about doing it. Went to zoning, got the change of use approved. And now I'm back here again to talk about site plan review. And what we need to do next.
Lauren, you have
Parking or building size?
I think so.
The building,
Both,
building size.
Building size.
Building size.
2,000 square feet, more than you're building, more than 2,000 square feet, yeah.
So that you remember we talked about the 4 separate buildings, they're removable, portable.
Yes,
Lauren's trying to bring up the plan now, so we can look at it.
Oh, okay.
I have one from July of 2025.
Yeah, that's probably it.
Yeah, I said,
yeah.
I know I had, and it was just at Board of Appeals, so I know I have it for them.
Yeah, how big is it?
Bible font, again.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Let's start bringing magnifying glasses.
All right, so you want to submit a site plan?
There we go.
And have we got that? Have you already submitted or you're?
No, he's not submitted for it yet. So he needs to file an application with you. Again, he just received the special permit for the warehousing use, which is for the U-Haul
Yeah,
units,
storage.
as well as the other tenant you
The
have.
back of the building that we rent out the warehouse.
Yeah, so the site of the former Grow Right.
Grow right,
Yeah, Grow Right. So they're not there anymore. So he has a new tenant in there that uses it for storage.
yeah, so it's
Thanks.
rental storage.
Again, it's the units on it's on the northern side, right?
Yeah, it's on the northern
So
side,
that block
the block with the.
is all the units. So
That's fairly flat. Is that flat if I remember?
Yeah, so that's all flat area. There's a 170-foot area that is available on that plan. I'm only using 100-foot.
Any conservation issues? Any
No conservation issues.
no frogs, turtles?
They're all on.
I got the.
So yeah, just confirming with you all that, he is required to submit site plan for site plan approval. And that he should anticipate peer review for this. I mean, this is not very, I mean, this is like most like a lotting plan, right? And I don't think there's a lot of,
Not gonna be a lot of runoff change or any of that.
yeah.
And there's
Relatively
already the U-Haul's, does this replace the U-Haul facility or is this
No, no,
on
no,
the same,
this is
just right?
on
there?
the property.
On the property,
Oh,
just some storage on the
Yeah.
property, basically.
so other things, I mean, will you want a stormwater packet submittal to be reviewed, like all the standard stuff? Or is this minor enough of something that you would not consider that?
How much impermeable surface you adding in square feet? Roofs or driveways?
So the roof is 2,000 square feet.
What is it currently, though? Is it going on something that's currently pavement or?
Yeah, it's great.
There's not really a lot of parking, right? Because people just drive up to their.
Yeah, just try to the unit.
Yeah, so people don't park and hang out there.
It doesn't add any more to parking.
And water, sewer utilities, just electricity probably.
Oh, yeah, these are cold storage, right? Correct?
Yeah,
So no utilities. So,
no
yeah.
utilities, no. No, I have cameras, I bring cameras on them with solar on the roof to power those. And
And there's no water or sewer up there, correct?
no,
The septic, and is this, you're putting in new septic or is it existing?
there's no
There's nothing, it's just storage.
units, it just,
Oh,
it's no, there's no rooms in there but storage rooms. It's just garage doors.
What's peer review going to give us that we can't figure out in the town with this, if we're not going to be doing an environmental impact study, or going to be doing drainage?
It's all
Or,
it's all paved.
It's all paved already, so it's,
Yeah.
it's just gonna have a different impervious surface.
So I,
Raised impervious surface.
Pardon
A raised impervious.
me?
just a question. So it's not gonna be an office there for people to come and?
No, so
That's gonna be in the old
that
building.
should be the building.
Oh.
This is just a
okay.
storage
Oh,
facility
okay,
adjacent.
adjacent, and the old building is still, okay,
Yeah, so this is gonna stay.
that's-
He's,
okay,
yeah, and then they're just gonna add this.
okay, I get it.
we have to consider the neighbors, but I don't want to waste anybody's time either.
Yeah, but there really isn't neighbors really up there. It's Matusas.
Well,
There's-
the site plan is going to bring in somebody, right? We'll have a public hearing on it.
Mhm,
It'd be nice to answer, they're gonna ask a question and we need to say why we didn't do this or this or
Yeah.
that.
right.
We could say we didn't send up peer review because we had the ability in town to take a look at it and make our own decision.
Yeah, I'm comfortable not requiring peer review.
Yeah.
Reevaluate that upon getting a
When we see it.
submission.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's true.
But
yeah, why do
Yeah.
we get a formal submission, but
How
I
many
just-
storage units are there?
There's only right now 22.
22.
Yeah, it's not like it's gonna, and there's not gonna be much more than that. I'm just looking for a little retirement.
If, board agrees to bring in your site plan and we'll
Okay.
schedule a public hearing. We'll send it up to the town when we get it and we'll have a public hearing, check with the
well, I
neighbors.
think we'll look at not requiring, I don't think.
Yeah,
based
but,
on
but
what-
we'll still send it out to all the other boards
Yeah,
for their comments.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah,
That's fine.
Required to do
I'll
that.
stop by to see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
And,
actually, could you do Thursday?
Okay, yeah, that's fine, that's fine. And we'll go over what we have to do. I appreciate your time tonight,
Thanks
folks.
very much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks, Bob.
Thank you for your patience and waiting. We're good theater.
Okay, is there a motion to make Ken the chairman, Bill the vice chairman, you'd be the treasurer, you'd be
Actually, I'm the treasurer.
clerk, treasurer, and you'd be
Then I'd be clerk.
clerk and I'd be member.
I'll move.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Congratulations, Mr. Vice Chairman.
Oh, yeah.
And by the way, you have to adjourn the meeting. You're in charge.
I'm in charge of, do I will entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.